Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm Summer, and this is a heavier topic for a video, I know. So feel free to click off if you need to. I totally understand. Today we're going to be discussing what dialectic behavior therapy, the kind of history behind it, who it's good for, and if I had to give one skill, what I would give to everybody. So DBT is a fork of cognitive behavior therapy developed by Marshall Linehan. It is more prominent with people who are suicidal and don't take well to CBT. Usually people who have BPD, which is borderline personality disorder, which is what I have. The main concept behind DBT is learning what triggers you and using skills to lower the intense reactions. For me, it is overall getting back to a normal baseline when emotions are pretty high. How quickly a person does that is based on two different schools of thought. The first being biological, where it is hardwired into our very person as a being, and some people just don't go back down to normal as quickly as others. And the second is how somebody was raised and how they were reared, and in an invalidating environment that can be pretty challenging. For example, having your parents yell all the time means that you get used to yelling and you think that's how you get what you want. But realistically, it's probably somewhere in between the two. If you're really interested, I would highly recommend looking at the history of DBT and kind of the more broader concepts of it. I have a bunch of stuff in the description below for that. DBT felt different to me from other therapy types because it has an explanation for causes and things you can do for those causes. It also seems more forgiving and more gentle than the others. It has contingencies for when I mess things up and when things go wrong. I remember the first time I was in a crisis and remembered, I have skills for this. It was an amazing feeling, and I think everybody should feel like that at some point or another. When you get over that first hurdle of, oh hey, I have a thing for this, it's kind of the start of a lot of things for you. Because you can then go to different skills, you can try something else that's different. You know that, oh hey, I am not doing well. I need to do something for this. The main people that can benefit from DBT are those who have borderline personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, substance issues, and most mood disorders. In my opinion though, everybody can benefit in some way from DBT skills, if only little. I've taught skills to people from every walk of life, and nearly everyone appreciates them. So my most used skill, and the one I recommend to everybody, is TIPP chemistry. Each of the letters in TIPP, T-I-P-P, stand for a different action that you can do. The T being temperature, and the way they recommend doing it is dunking your face in ice water for about 30 seconds, or until your anxiety kind of goes away. But that is pretty impractical. I tend to just stick a frozen bag of vegetables near the back of my neck, or walk outside when it's cold and in wintertime. Both are honestly effective enough for me, but they could always be doing better. There's this thing called the mammalian dive reflex, which is what the T kind of bases itself off of. It's a whole lot of science, and I'll link in the description again. But it basically, whenever you jump into cold water, it's meant to calm you down so that you don't die. As you can see, I stands for intense exercise. And that means basically what it stands for. If you're feeling really anxious and want to do something, you can always stand, do some jumping jacks, push-ups, go work out, and do a variety of different things to kind of burn off that excess energy. I don't particularly use that one because, like I said, I have depression, so my minimum is pretty low. But I have used it on very rare occasions, and it is very helpful. As you can see, the first P stands for paced breathing, where you breathe deeply, slowly, and kind of return to your breath. I've actually been using this one for multiple years, even before DBT therapy. And you want to use a 3-5-7 rule. So you breathe in for 3, hold for 5, out for 7. That's not actually how they say in the book, but it's the one that, it's the timing that I found works best because it's odd numbers, 3, 5, 7. And by forcing your output to be a lot slower, it reduces kind of hyperventilation, that sort of thing. So you do get a bit yawny, but that's kind of a side effect of it that I quite enjoy, telling me to kind of calm down from everything. As you can see, the last P is for paired muscle relaxation, and to be honest, I've never quite used this one. There have been occasions in group therapy that we do it, but it's never in the moment kind of thing. It's a, oh, I'm feeling anxious, my shoulder hurts. Let's try and relax that with some mindfulness, which I will get into next week. DBT should be used with a group setting and an individual setting between you and your therapist, because it helps bring in some social aspects of everything. And if one person is having a problem, they can help demonstrate it to another. And if, for say, I've already gone through this, I can give tips to somebody else on how to kind of go through it. One last thing about DBT is we aren't the causes of our problems, but we have to deal with them anyway. And that really sticks with people, because people don't want to do work. They don't want to do things that other people had forced on them. And I can understand that, but there are 3 things you can do in any situation. You can first make things better. You can try to make things better. 2, you can do nothing, absolutely nothing, and stay miserable as you are. Or 3, you can make things absolutely worse. And no matter what, in any situation you have those 3 things to pick from. Make things better, do nothing, or make things worse. And the goal is to shift things towards the try to make things better. You don't have to do everything in every situation, but making them better is always a good first step and first option. I also just wanted to remind everybody that I am not your therapist. I am not somebody you can come to with your problems. I am somebody who is giving you information that you can do work on your own or with your own individual therapist. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope this has been a bit informative. I tell you to have a wonderful day, but I do that every other time. So let's change it up to a saying that I wrote one day and it's kind of stuck with me. Shine big, shine bright, and don't let your spark die out.